political shake-up in southern Nigeria has set the stage for a fiercely contested Senate by-election in Edo Central on August the 16th. The seat fell vacant after Senator Monday Okphebolo became the state's governor, triggering a race that has drawn heavyweights from the PDP, APC and ADC. Amongst those watching closely is political analyst Darlington Okphebolo, who recently resigned from the PDP after over 2 decades, citing deepening rift within the party. He joins us now on Newsday to discuss the campaigns, the shift in alliances, and what the outcome could mean for Edo Central's political future. Welcome to Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Now, based on the current trends and analysis, what would you say are the favorites to win this election?
Yeah, well, the election in Edo Central, land as it were, is very, very dynamic. Especially for us who have been in the forefront of ESA development and what we call the ESA agenda at the time. But you see, we found it very difficult being partisan when it comes to ESA politics, because we know ESA is just one. We are one people, one language, and one destiny. For us, we believe that right now we have a governor in Edo State that is from that axis of the state. And we have personally have advocated for someone who we work with, who will not have any crisis with the governor when he becomes a senator in terms of the development of Edo Central. And I've carefully looked at all of them. I've spoken to a number of people around, and I've discovered that one thing that is, although I've left the PDP, one thing that is striking, that is of note with the PDP, is that they'll be very consistent in this sharing formula. They'll be very faithful to this arrangement of turn by turn. And to this end, we've seen all almost all the sessions, all the axes of Edo Central. They produced senators, except ESA Northeast, which of course where we have Uromi. And today, almost everybody is tilted towards that area. That is the time for an Uromi man to become the next senator of Edo Central. And this is what the PDP has been consistently doing in the last 4 years or 2 elections right now, and zoning it to ensuring that is the turn of Uromi to balance what we call a political equation in that axis. So if that is anything to go by, and after carefully looking at the critical actors, the 3 major actors in the race, Prince Joe Koje for PDP, Honorable Sergius Ogun for ADC, and of course Joe Ikpea for APC, you realize that the pendulum is swinging towards Uromi right now for the sake of equity, fairness, and justice. And after a chat with Joe Koje, I also realized that he's someone who is ready to work with anybody for the development of ESA land. And with that, I thought we should give Uromi a chance to also produce a senator at this particular time. So apart from the fact that he has good, it's not partisan this time because, of course, you know, I've resigned from the PDP. But the truth is that in fairness, when we want to be fair, it is a turn for Uromi to produce the next senator in Edo State, Edo Central as it were. So apart from the goodwill that he has across party line, is this doctrine of fairness and equity is working in his favor.
All right, Mr. Ray, let's talk about your resignation from the PDP. You cited that the party has been hijacked by undemocratic forces. Can you help us unpack that?
Yeah, since 2022, after the primary that saw Atiku Abubakar becoming the candidate of the PDP for the 2023 election, we've been moving from one crisis to the other. First of all, we had the G5, the 5 governors who formed a group of themselves that were going to work against the party. And we also, personally, I was with them. I felt it was necessary we allow the southern part of the country to produce the next president. After seeing Muhammadu Buhari ruling for 8 years, I thought it was unfair for the power to shift back to the north. So I was one of those who supported the idea of having a Southern presidency, and I supported a Southern presidency then. But I didn't care who eventually won between Obi and Tinubu that we have right now. But since then, I thought that would have ended with that election. I haven't have a president now from the south, but it still went on, and the likes of Nyesom Wike and his group still went on ensuring that PDP is erased from the political history or political trajectory of Nigeria, which it was very, very unfortunate, or still very unfortunate, because PDP before now was the largest, considered the largest party in Africa. Is the only party you will have in every home in Nigeria. You have their structure in the 74 local government in Nigeria. They have their offices. There is no home in Nigeria you will get into that you will not find a PDP member, as it were. So when they began this destruction tendency, it started like a joke. We thought it was going to end after the election, but it's still fired on. And you see them every day coming up with one thing. Wike will come today, he will tell you that he wants a social person to become or be taken as the president, as the secretary of the party. After that is done, he comes the next day, he brings a demand, and we've written series of articles, series of letters asking them to put up a punitive measure to ensure that they stem the tide of this anti-party that is going on. And you see nothing is happening, nothing is being done. You want to wonder, when is the party going to stand its ground and punish those who have deliberately been working against the party? And we have not seen this coming. And you see every day people are decamping, every day people are leaving the party, and some that are even in the party are coming out boldly to say they are not leaving the party, but they are going to support the president of Nigeria, who is in APC. My question is, if you are in PDP and you remain in PDP and you continue to work for the ruling party, which is APC, and you say you will not leave PDP and nothing is being done to you, nobody is punishing you, nobody is saying anything against what you are doing, and you are still being pampered like a spoiled child, then what is the need? Why will people like us still remain there when there is no punishment for offense? So I thought personally, for me, I thought it's about time I called it quit with the party I have been with since 1998, since the inception of the party, and try myself elsewhere. So that is why.
Well, I guess your reasons are valid, but I'd like to take you back to Edo State, the central senatorial election. I'd like us to talk a bit about the campaign dynamics. How much influence does the governor have on this election? What are the key issues for candidates to focus on, and how do you think they would differentiate themselves from their opponents?
Well, in Edo Central, like I tried to say in my opening speech, is a very dynamic area. That axis is one of the most sophisticated, politically sophisticated zone in the whole of Nigeria. When you look at the political leaders that have come from that axis. But be that as it may, they are very aware. The awareness, political awareness of that region is overwhelming. So there are people who can tell you this is where we are going, and they will all go to that place. The influence of the governor right now in that region cannot be overemphasized. You cannot underestimate his influence. As the governor, the people prayed and worked for the governor to emerge from that region. At that time, we had two of them from PDP and APC coming from that region, and the one we have today is from there. And the people are ready to see that he does some level of development, because Eastern Land, as it were, has been one of the most backward region or senatorial district in the state. We have had successive governments since 2008 that have deliberately, I repeat, sidelined that region. So hence we had so much clamor, so much agitation for us to produce a governor. And finally, we have a governor, and we cannot say that he hasn't influence. He doesn't have any influence in that area. He has some level of influence, but I believe also that being someone who has who was part of the PDP, he still has his friends within the rank and file of the PDP. And what he is also concerned about, like I know, is the development of ASAN, and he should be ready to work with anyone who emerges as the senator. So that being said, I believe the people of ASAN know what they want. They want development, and they know among the three gladiators that we have right now, who among them is able to project their interests, able to speak to them. You look at it since last year, since 2024, first quarter of 2024, we have not really had representation in the Senate. We've not had anybody speaking for the good people of Esa land. And this is a problem for us. You see people talking about state creation, agitation of more states in different zones, different regions in Nigeria, people coming to represent their senatorial district. But we've not had that in the past almost a year plus right now. But because we had someone who was there as our senator becoming the governor. And right now, what we need is someone who can adequately represent us in every ramification of representation. Someone who can speak for ESA people, someone who has the charisma, who has the aura, who has that personality to speak, and people will listen. So that is where ESA people are looking towards, and they know, like I said, they are very much sophisticated when it comes to politics. They know who among these lords who can do that for them, who is fearless, someone who is bold, someone who has seen it all, someone who has the exposure, who has the intellect, someone who has the mental capacity, the intellectual capacity, and of course, the kind of political influence to galvanize support, to galvanize, to lobby.
All right, Mr. Ray.
For the people of Esa.
Well, the people will decide in about a week. But you have earlier said that it is the turn of the Uromi people to produce the next senator. Now, that is, of course, echoing the stance of the PDP. But how do you think that the ongoing crisis, which you earlier talked about, the internal crisis in the PDP, how do you think this crisis would impact or affect their chances in the forthcoming elections?
Yeah, that is when you talk about the dynamism of politics in ESA. I just told you that it is difficult for a lot of people to play partisan politics when it comes to ESA issue. The PDP is having its crisis, no doubt about that. But ESA people want development. And they know among the people we have right now who can really fight for that development. Like I said, it's a turn for Uromi. And the man, ESA Uromi people, or the PDP is presenting, is throwing the hat in the ring, is just Joe Okoje. And Joe Okoje is known to so many ESA people. He doesn't just, his popularity is not restricted to Uromi, where he is from. He's known across the 5 local governments in ESA land. And like I said, what we want right now is the kind of person who will come out and fight for the development of ESA land, working hand in hand with the governor without any conflict of interest. And I have seen that in Joe. I've had chats with him. I've seen that in him, that he's ready to work with anybody to ensure that ESA is developed.
Well, very well said. Darlington Okphebolo Ray, political analyst. We're completely out of time. Thank you so much for your insight on Newsday.